G'day ladies and gents, welcome to War Thunder with Mags, and welcome to Arcade Lonely Island map as a Japanese in the A6 M2 Mod 11. Now these days I'm known predominantly as a realistic battle player, but this wasn't always the case. I used to be a major arcade player. I stopped playing it not because I didn't like the game mode, but because I got too good at it. It got to the point where every single time I brought out my lines, I felt like I was kicking puppies, and I felt I needed a bigger challenge. And if you look back through my older videos on this account, you can actually see my progression as an arcade player into a realistic battle player. Now, despite the beliefs of some in the realistic battle community, arcade actually does require skill in order to do incredibly well. It's just the skill set is different than what you require in realistic battles. In arcade, situational awareness is actually more important than it is in realistic battles, just due to the sheer volume of enemy aircraft in a very tight space. You need to be able to monitor where all potential threats are at all times. The good players will always be aware of their targets and potential threats, be keeping track of them all at the same time and manoeuvring to outmaneuver them and to kill them as efficiently as possible. Now I've dove into the furball on the south side of the map in between the two runways midway up the island. I'm beginning to engage enemy aircraft that are in the area. I completely forgot how manoeuvrable the Zero is in arcade. This thing is ridiculous. It is so much fun to fly. This is one of the things why I do like jumping back into arcade, or I really need to jump back into arcade more often. It is so stress-free. The plane's repair costs are almost non-existent, and the game mode is pure fun. There is a reason why so many of the players of War Thunder actually play arcade exclusively and not realistic battle. It is so easy to enjoy yourself in it. Just completely outmaneuver this Yak 7B, and thank you, I'll take that. Now it's been some time since I've actually played arcade competitively. I have jumped in for a match every now and again, but usually it's been part of a review that I'm doing on an aircraft for realistic. Ones that come to mind is my revisiting the Boomerang video, and when I took out the LA-174 for its first impressions video, just seeing how it performed in arcade in comparison to its performance in realistic battles. But the last time I actually played competitive arcade on a regular basis was probably the last time you saw a competitive arcade video on this channel, which is around 6 months ago. Take out the Hellcat, and that's this area secure. As a result of my not playing arcade regularly, my skills have gotten a little rusty, and this match will show it a bit. Now, with the south side of the map and the island secure, there's no enemy aircraft in this area now. It's got a free pass all the way almost to the enemy runway before you start encountering fighters. However, we have enemy aircraft encroaching on our base, and as this is a domination map, I need to get over there and make sure they don't cap. We're actually running low on points at the moment. We took a while to cap the runway out in the initial part of the match, and as a result we're behind on tickets from the word go. So we're going to have to try and clear the fighters away from that runway. We cannot afford to let the enemy team cap it out, keep it clear, and hope clearing the south pass to the enemy runway will allow the team to push around and get a cap in on their runway. Now there's a 109 at the base, but it's being engaged by two allied fighters. There's an I-16 approaching him, but I'm not too worried about him. What I'm actually worried about is the runways themselves. There is a second fighter near the runway too, from the looks. The runways themselves tend to take attacks in waves. As the enemy team spawns in a group, they'll all move on the runway at the same time. This wave has pretty much been cleared out, but the next wave will be coming in momentarily, and we cannot let them pass. If they take the runway, we'll probably lose this match. Got to take a lead shot, but that guy was already dead. P-40 approaching. I have no fear of this guy in a Zero. I will turn circles around him with no problems at all, even with the damage that I've sustained so far. But he looks like he's moving for the ground targets, trying to strafe them out to get more of a ticket lead for his team. It's actually a very smart move if you're brave enough to do it. You just have to be aware that any aircraft guarding the runway for the enemy team will maneuver to intercept you. He pulls around and brings those 50 cals to bear, so just pull up, dodge out of the way, turn around, fall back on his tail. Much easier to kill him from behind. And only an assist. Looks like I split it with a MiG-3. IL-2 and a 109E are on point, so bringing it back around. We do outnumber them 2 to 1, but that IL-2 is potentially very, very dangerous. Passes underneath. I'm not going to go head to head with something with that many guns in a Zero. That would just be suicide. Loop around onto its tail, take my shots. don't pull off the trigger quite fast enough here and accidentally put some 7.7mm rounds into the back of the Allied aircraft. I was actually very lucky there. My cannons had ran out a split second before, so it was only 7.7s that got him. Spitfire. Two Bs are dangerous aircraft, but they ain't got nothing on a zero in terms of manoeuvrability. He's inside of my convergence though, so I have to be really, really careful on getting my lead here. Set him on fire. Pull out for altitude. Who's next? F4F to the rear, bring it back around. It looks like it's going to try and make a pass on the runways themselves. Just loop around. That's a lot of 50 cals again. I do not want them aimed at me. Looks like he's going to try and strafe out somebody on the runway, take my lead. Get a couple of good hits, but not enough to stop him, unfortunately. Let him turn. Shoot off his control surfaces. Yep, that kills mine. Or not. I was truly the king of assists this round. Next wave is incoming. Ooh, that was close. Get this 109. Where is he going? Take the lead. Thank you very much. I'll take that. I don't see this P-38 come in till the last second. Take a massive hit to the wing. But this is a zero. It really doesn't care about the damage too much. Providing the wing's still attached, it'll still outmaneuver pretty much anything. Move on the premium Hellcat. Taking my lead. There we go. Take off his wing. Just had to wait for the cannon shells to reload. 6th kill. Now it's getting pretty busy over this runway, but the enemy team is putting so much focus on trying to take it that our team has snuck around and ninjaed theirs. Moving on this IL-2. Now I should have realised straight away this is an IL-2M. This thing has a tail gunner, but it didn't click. I'm out of cannon shells, so I'm only peppering him with 7.7 rounds. Finally get the cannons up and put some damage in, but he shoots me in the face with his tail gunner. And there goes my engine. Uh-oh. Thankfully, guarding the runway does have some advantages. Even with the engine out, fire off a couple of splash shots, I get an assist on the IL-2M, just drop the landing gear and put this thing on the ground. Now, how good is my team? Will they manage to stop the enemy team from managing to strafe me out? Pretty standard landing, nothing really special here. Spiral the plane to a stop, and I've already got shots coming in, and a couple of good hits. A critical that added maybe 5 seconds to my repair time, but not enough to kill me or stop the repair. Teammates managed to clear the skies. I'm holding 2nd place for the team. Just have to wait a few more seconds. Looks like the next wave is still a while out. The enemy teams have shifted over to trying to recapture their runway and have managed to do it, but we've taken the ticket point lead now. And there we go, repair's done. Raise the flaps, firewall the throttle, whip on, get this thing up to speed and off the runway as fast as I can. I've managed to get lucky and not get strafed out. I want to get this plane in the air and back into the fight. Best part about the Zero, almost no takeoff distance, and it's pretty much at combat speed the second you pull the landing gear up, so getting back into the fight is really easy. Incoming pea shooter. I don't know what the hell a pea shooter was doing here. There's no reason for that plane to be here. But it's not there now. Now the enemy team is still steadily losing tickets. Somebody was over-strafing out their ground targets, giving us a bit of a lead, just like they were trying to do to us before. Take the Zero into a climb, try and get some altitude. Nobody seems to be pushing on the runway anymore. Mainly because whoever was attacking the ground targets over there decided it would be a great idea to take the runway as well. Shots in on the Boo Fighter. I wasn't leading particularly well there. I missed a lot with the cannons. 7.7's like the Bow Fighter's engine on fire. He should burn out, should be an easy kill, but of course I forgot this is arcade, and another kill assist. It's one of the bad habits I've noticed I've gotten into for arcade gameplay is I'm used to being able to critically damage an aircraft like that and leave it alone, and most of the time nobody will fire shots into it. Of course in arcade that's not the case, but that's just the nature of the game. Diving down trying to get some airspeed to move back into the fight, but to no avail, the match is over. And there it is. So the results for the match. Second place for the team, 6 kills and 8 assists with no deaths. The Wingman Epic Award, 48,296 silver lions, 3,611 mod research points and 7,222 base air research points on a premium account on a double. And that was my very first serious arcade match in about 6 months, and I had a great time, so let's do it again. This time we're on the Spain map. I've never actually played on this map before. It's been, I'm not sure when it was introduced, but I don't play arcade enough to know. I'm flying out the Americans, similar tier to my Japanese, Corsairs, P-40s, F6Fs. Now I've just passed over the centre of the map. I haven't got a lot of fighter support in the area and there is a lot of red beneath me, so I'm heading back towards the enemy aircraft that are heading towards our runway, and I've picked up a Lag 3, and this guy is going to follow me until I'm dead. He is completely target fixated on me. I'm not particularly worried about him yet, because even in arcade a Lag 3 cannot catch a Corsair in level flight or in a dive, so he's going to be floating around 1.5 to 2.5 k's behind me while I'm hunting targets over this area, and I'm just looking down trying to work out what I'm going to go for first. Now this is a ground strike map, so primary target should be ground attackers, and I've picked my first target. There's an A-20G down there I want a piece of. Now I'm not going to head directly at him. I dive down at an angle to pass over to come at him from behind and above, give me a better angle on his engines. Begin my drop into position, take the lead, set the engine on fire, pass out of the area. Now I've already picked my second target. It's an F2A3 Buffalo. These things are actually really dangerous. All the speed and manoeuvrability of a tiny little Buffalo with 450 caliber machine guns. They can be very, very dangerous. They're actually a seal clubbing weapon of choice for realistic battles in Era 1. So quickly spark him up and pull out. Now in those 2 kills, the Lag 3 has managed to catch up to me, so drop combat flaps, stand on the elevators, time to get into a turning fight with him. I normally wouldn't do this in realistic battle, but in arcade mode the Corsair can turn with the Lag 3, take into the vertical to line up my shots, and take a massive hit, but that wasn't from the Lag 3. I actually focused too much on the Lag 3 and I never saw the MiG-3 coming in. 2 20mm Shevaks just tore me in half, so that's my first plane loss. So it's going to be that kind of a match. Alright, time to bust out the Kitty Hawk. First target, the MiG-3. That avenges my Corsair. Now that Lag 3 had far, far too much interest in me before, so he's next. Take the lead. Critical hit, set him on fire, pull out of the area. So that's 2 of the aircraft near our runway eliminated. However, there's a Bf-110 over there, and he's going to be next. Bf-110, twin 20mm cannons, good at ground attack, excellent aircraft. It's the German seal clubbing weapon of choice for realistic battles, and I don't want this thing anywhere near my spawn. Carefully trying to get the lead on here. He's doing the old noob wobble yo-yo. I'm getting most of my shots on target, but it's been that long since playing arcade that I've lost my skill at actually countering this manoeuvre. Light his engine on fire. Just open the guns up fully. I'm going to go for a reload anyway. Just keep pulling the trigger. Control surface is falling off. He's lost elevation control. No you don't. Reload faster, reload faster. Come on. Thank you, I got enough assists last game. My kill. So that's 3 kills to the Kitty Hawk. Time to head down to this valley. It looks like there's a massive swarm of enemy fighters incoming. I have fighters moving into the area to provide backup. I-16 close. Just dip underneath it. That's a Type 27. roll it over, combat flaps on. I-16 is highly manoeuvrable. It'll actually take a lot of effort to get this thing, to outmaneuver this thing. I-16 tries to dive away from the Allied aircraft coming in, overcooks the dive and slams it into the ground. A6M2N over the mountaintop. The valley seems to have cleared out, so I'm heading that way now. Just checking my tail. Looks like the enemy fighters are all several kilometres away, so I don't have to worry about them too much at the moment. Always worth keeping your head on a swivel though. Make sure your tail is clear at all times. The last thing you want to do is get bounced like I did with that MiG. Also be aware of what the targets are. The closest target's 4.3 k's behind me and it's a CR-42. That thing will never catch me in a straight line, so there is zero threat. The next is a Typhoon that was 6.3 away. Moving in a 112. Hits in. See the biplane. It's an easy kill and it's already on the tail of an ally, so quickly remove it. Invert over. P-36A ahead. Highly manoeuvrable little aircraft. 112 appears to have either bugged out or got shot down. I never saw where it went. Punching the shots. This thing took a surprisingly large amount of 50 caliber hits to actually kill it. There we go, its wings off. Nothing appears to be out this way. There is a Lag 7B up high and above, but it's got one aircraft above it that's engaging it, one below that's burst climbing to it, so there's no need for me over in that area. I'll head back to that second valley. There's a larger number of enemy aircraft over there. Now I'm going to kill the Swordfish first. However, I consider this a mercy killing. The Swordfish has some great history behind the aircraft, but it's really non-competitive in this match. I mean, this thing is going flat out. Look how slow it is. So he can head off to his next plane. Tempest ahead. It's trying to duck between or shoot the hell out of it as it tries to turn. Into the mountain it goes. Over the mountaintop. Yak 7 back there still alive. 112 ahead, but it's got a P-36 and a PBY above it. I want to get some altitude away. The PBY is going to attempt to dive on ground targets on this side of the map, so just spiralling back for a bit of altitude. And just wait. Sometimes you can go chasing down the enemy aircraft, sometimes you can just wait for them to come to you. PBY is moving off to the right. Nose down. Trying to get the speed back up in intercept. And we're winning hard on points here. The enemy team has shot down a number of our players' fighters, so they've switched over to ground attackers and they're ripping the hell out of the enemy ground targets at the moment. PBY in gun range. I was trying to lead onto the engines, but I just couldn't quite get the shots there, so fine, I'll take the elevators off the tail instead. And there they go, off they go. It's in a gentle dive, there's no way for it to pull up, so it's a kill. Now we have taken another hit to the tickets there, but the enemy team has taken more, and this match is pretty much done. Heading back up over the spine of the mountaintop, 112, almost within attack range. Nose down for speed. But the enemy team's just about to run out of tickets and this match is over. And there it is. Let's go check the results. So the results, first place for the team and highest points in the match, 10 kills, 1 assist for 1 death, Terror of the Sky, 35,801 Silver Lions, 3,524 mod research points, and 7,048 air research points on a premium account on a double. So, Arcade. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed going back for these matches. They were almost completely stress-free. I had a really good time flying them. My skills are a little rusty, I do need to get them all back on track, but I think I'm going to be playing a couple of arcade matches every week just to take the edge off the realistic battles a little, because this was a really good time. Anyways, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the video. Click like if you do, subscribe if you want to see more, fly smart, fly safe, and I'll catch you in the skies.